Hello and good morning, everyone. Today I'd like to talk about resilience versus endurance. In trauma, these concepts are especially resilience is really important. It's how we adapt and not only survive, but thrive. It's our ability to regain our footing, if you will, emotional, mental, after an event or set of circumstances has happened. Endurance is just that, right? It's our ability to endure, to hunker down and kind of brace against what's happening to us, what's going on. And sometimes it's just the way it is, right? I mean, we can't always stop, process, figure out how to be adaptable in the situation. We need both. And because we don't always have time. And we've got to be able to endure. An analogy that always comes up for me, and they use this a lot, is the palm tree versus the oak tree, right? I live in the Northeast. Oak trees are prevalent, and they are beautiful, and they are big, and they are strong, and you can feel their immensity and their power when you stand next to them, especially the older ones. And man, that is endurance, right? Especially some of these that are over 200 years old. They've weathered storms. They do not bend, and they're still there. Occasionally, they do break, though, because they are immensely strong. They have endurance. They have gravitas. They have this fortitude that allows them to grow in any and all conditions. From a tiny little acorn into a mighty oak. And that is beautiful and deep and impressive. Palm trees, on the other hand, bend with the winds, bend in the breeze, and sway, and so they are resilient, right? They have this ability to bend all the way over without breaking, without falling, or most of the way over anyway. Tree people, please bear with me. But it's this ability to be very adaptable, right? And palm trees are beautiful. And for me, again, living in the Northeast, I see a palm tree, I automatically relax. My nervous system's like, oh, warm, we're on vacation. For those of you who live around palm trees, maybe you don't have the same reaction, but I think you especially get the analogy of that resilience, of that ability to just sway and flow with the storms of life. So what's more important? I know that we need both in order to survive. And so what does that mean on a daily basis? Let me take that back. You can survive anything. It doesn't mean that you're going to adapt well. If we have strictly endurance and no resilience, that's when we get maladaptive coping mechanisms, because we are tremendously strong. We are mighty oaks. And without that ability to also be a palm tree once in a while, we break, right? There are some storms that you just can't weather. So, bringing in the whole thing as well about living our lives in joy, right? And applying this to the resilience versus endurance. I am going to giggle through this because I think it's a great example. This weekend, there's a wireless adapter piece to your car called a dongle. And I am a 50-year-old woman masquerading as like a 5-year-old child. I just think that's the funniest word, one of the funniest words in the English language. And I've spent the entire weekend just giggling like a fool, working it into every sentence I can, and annoying people at the gym this morning with it. So why am I bringing this up? Just so I could say it again on video? A little bit, yeah. But also to apply this to resilience. versus endurance. As I thought it was a great example this morning. And shout out to those of you who allowed me to giggle my way through this, some of whom enjoyed it, some of who tolerated it. So I thank you and apologize. But the reason why I am bringing this up is because I was noticing as I'm giggling, laughing, bringing joy into an intense situation. I mean, these are tough workouts, no joke. I am noticing how much more I can endure because I'm laughing about a silly little auto attachment and sort of building this, not sort of, building resilience in that I am now extending my endurance without noticing how much out of breath and in pain I am. But also, as I'm laughing my way through this and giggling with others, we're building this group resilience, right? People are not noticing how hard they're actually working because there's so much joy in it. There's so much resilience. Let me just hit that nail on the head. Let me stick with the theme here. Yeah, and it was just this an hour that could have been spent on a Monday morning with like, oh boy, okay, we're gonna get through this because this is what we have to do. Or we giggled our way through it and got so much more out of it, both in a workout and in our preparedness to move through the day in a elevated state, right? I mean, we started the day laughing with friends while we moved energy, while we moved our bodies, while we did something that, to me, without all of that, would have been not a drag. I do enjoy it, but nowhere near as fun. So since we're moving through these little topics here, I also want to relate this to another thing that I'm hearing a lot about online, and maybe you guys are too if you're searching topics like this, is Ascension, especially on this post-Easter weekend, Easter Monday. What does resilience and endurance have to do with Ascension? I think it has everything to do with it, right? Because I'm a lapsed Catholic, so it's, but the story of crucifixion, resurrection, I mean, there's endurance and resilience right there. Yeah. And so as we really just feel into that, right? And that energy is really strong right now, and not, there's a very specific reason for that. I mean, another reason why we work on our resilience is because we are creatures of our environment, right? I mean, this is the whole point of being in the physical is to interact with, hopefully enjoy, and adapt to our environments. And so there's no coincidence that this is coming up. It's spring as well, so if religion is not your language, we've got the cycles of death, rebirth, renewal, all of it, whatever your language is, whatever level we want to hit this at, same themes are going on in the quantum physics, metaphysical world. Ascension is the shift to the new human, essentially, right? That this person, this entity that does live more embodied in, to stick with the Easter theme, Christ consciousness, and blends the two. So, practical ascension, as you move through your day today, as we move through the beginning of the week, start to play with the themes of resilience versus endurance. Where am I enduring something? Do I have to? Why am I pushing so hard? Am I working towards something? Or am I pushing against something? When I start to feel like I'm enduring this, stop, okay? Like I'm I'm going to stand in my groundedness of, hey, like this is something that I really want to be doing. And also, how can I bend a little bit? How can I sway? How can I adapt? We always have choice. We always are in control of the ship, even when it doesn't feel like it. So I just want to stick with that theme for right now and see how you're feeling. Oak tree, palm tree. Resilience, endurance. So that's my lecture on practical ascension. And so we'll talk later. See you guys. Bye.